Hi guys, Mons here. On today's episode of About Mons, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals Game 3 between the Pacers and the OKC Thunder. Just before I get started, I just want to mention, I just want to say thank you to everyone that subscribed so far. If you're enjoying my content so far, if it's your first time here, if you're watching this video, make sure you don't forget to click on the subscribe button and drop me a comment or a like as well. Thank you very much. So let's get right into it. So in this Game 3, it was well balanced. It was a 1-1 game so far. And again, this was a pivotal game 3 because in a 7-game series in the NBA, whoever win game 3 always go 80% of the time always go ahead and win the series in general. So in game 3, I at the start of the match, I started the game, I fancied OKC Thunder. I felt the Thunders were go into Indiana and beat Indiana. I was clearly wrong because Pacers eventually won a close game. It was a well balanced game up until maybe the last 2-3 minutes where the Pacers took over defensively. So in the first quarter, we had Chet Holmgren going off. It was fantastic in the first quarter, but it wasn't really great for the rest of the game. First quarter, it was his best quarter throughout the whole game. The Pacers also made it their business to get Pascal Siakam. Pacers also made it their business to get Pascal Siakam involved offensively from the get-go. They threw the ball into him in the low post, every single time. And I think Shea was guarding him at one stage, and every single time he took Shea to the basket or just rose up above him to get an easy basket. And then the Pacers, there was an early lead for the Thunder, and I felt from this point going forward, the Thunder were going to go ahead and win. I was wrong, however, I was wrong. We saw in the second quarter, the bench sparked at the Pacers. So they brought in TJ McConnell, Ben Mathurin, and they also brought in Obi Toppin. Those three were game changers, especially the intensity from TJ McConnell. He's such a good small guard. He's very quick. He doesn't give up. He's very nimble. I think he ended up with 4 assists in that quarter, and I think 2 steals as well, which are very important steals. And it got the crowd going, got the crowd ready into the game as well. Ben Mathurin was fantastic the whole game. As soon as it was brought in, he ended up with 28 points in this game, which is huge. 28 points in the NBA Finals. Never mind just in the regular NBA game. In the NBA Finals is something only great players do. Usually, you see the greatest of the greatest players. They always get their points no matter what. But in this game, Ben Mathurin made it his own case to make sure he got his points, and it was fantastic when he came off the bench. Ben Mathurin, in my opinion, was the player of the game. In my opinion, we saw in this game. We also saw OKC. OKC looked completely out of rhythm in this game, which is very strange because at the start of the game, they were pretty good. Shea was fitting the ball to Chet. Chet was getting his own points, and I think Shea came into it offensively a lot in the second half as well. I thought Shea was getting whatever he wanted in the second quarter. Shea was bringing the second quarter, getting whatever it wants. Like the bench guys for the Pacers basically won them this game. You got 26 points off the bench in the second quarter. 26 points off the bench in the second quarter compared to 9 points off the bench for the OKC Thunder. I think that's where the game swung. That's where the momentum of the game swung. And huge credit to Ben Mathurin, TJ McConnell, and also Obi Toppin. And I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Obi Toppin as well. He's such a fantastic athlete, and for a great athlete like that, and the way his style of play, he can also shoot the three, which makes him very hard to guard because he can drive to the post, he can get the lobs, and then he can also step back. He can also stay in the perimeter and also get his threes off as well, which is fantastic because that way it makes it harder for defenders to actually guard him, or when they clog up the paint, he can actually just step back out to the perimeter and get his 3 points off. And also, what I would say in this game is, I felt HALIBAN started off slowly. He tried to get others involved, which is good. You let the game come to him as well. But as you can see in the third quarter and fourth quarter, HALIBAN took over. It was another freak HALIBAN game in the third and fourth quarter. It was just amazing to watch again. This brother has been going off in this playoff. Apart from the last game, this brother's been going off in the playoff. HALIBAN has been, so far for me, the finals. It will win the finals MVP. HALIBAN will win the finals MVP if Pacers eventually end up winning the championship. He was fantastic in the second half of this game. In the third quarter and the fourth quarter, I felt HALIBAN controlled the pace of the game. Lou Dort and Caruso tried their best to get him off rhythm, but in this game, HALIBAN showed great maturity and great poise to get control of the game, get his own points, and also get his team involved. He almost got a triple-double. I think he ended up with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. This is another HALIBAN game, in my opinion. HALIBAN was just fantastic in this second half, the third quarter and the fourth quarter in this game, in my opinion. And also Siakam as well. Siakam was good throughout. Offensively, defensively, he's a good two-way player, in my opinion. And also, a quick shout out to Miles Turner. Miles Turner was fantastic in this game, especially late on. His defensive plays in this game was a big part of why Pacers eventually end up winning the game. And late on in this game, his defensive plays on Shea, on Chet, he had Chet Holmgren Chet Holmgren had him in an island, and then I was very surprised Chet didn't cook Miles Turner in that situation. I remember late in the game when there was only a few points in the fourth quarter, about 2 or 3 minutes left. Chet got the ball out of the perimeter. You saw him going off for a 3. Miles Turner blocked it, and then Chet got the rebound, and then he tried to drive into the paint, get an easy basket. But Miles Turner stayed in front of him, guarded him, and got the block. And then Pacers got the rebound, and then went out broke and got a basket from that. I felt that was a huge momentum swing in the fourth quarter as well. OKC looked very shook, in my opinion. This was the first time I've seen them shook all playoff. This can also be due to the fact that they're a very young team as well. And on the road, OKC aren't a great team on the road, especially in the playoffs so far. Pacers have been a better team on the road. And that's why I felt this game was a pivotal game. Usually 80% of the time, whoever wins game 3 goes ahead to win the series in a 7-game series in basketball. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in game 4, in my opinion. This was also the first time the Pacers scored 40 points in a quarter against the Thunder. Thunder are very good defensively. They were the best defensive team in the regular season and the playoffs so far. So in the second quarter, when the bench guys gave Pacers a boost, they ended up scoring 40 points against the Thunders, which is very uncharacteristic for the Thunders. So I was very surprised in that regard as well. Also, I'm just going to look through my notes here, what I have from watching the game. Ben Mathurin ended up with 28 points. Just a quick note on Ben Mathurin. He's only 21, 22 years old. I believe the next step for the Pacers in their organization, whether they win this championship or not, is developing Ben Mathurin to be an all-star player. I believe Ben Mathurin has the potential to be an all-star guard in this league. He's very athletic. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He can handle the ball. He can also shoot as well. And he's a fantastic athlete. And you can see this progression from his first year and second year in the league. So I'm very pleased for the Pacers. The Pacers are a very good organization. They draft well. They've been doing everything the right way so far. So it's rightfully so that they've got the reward by getting to the NBA Finals. Which this finals has been fantastic. I know a lot of regular fans have said they wanted the super team. They wanted the bigger teams in the final. However, I believe this final has been very, very good. In my analysis before the final, I said people thought it was going to be a blowout for the OKC Thunders, and I said people thought it was going to be in my analysis before the finals. People said it was going to be a blowout for the Thunders, and in my analysis, I said I felt it's going to be closer than people think. But people think it is. It was going to be. So in this final so far, the Pacers have put it up to the Thunder. The Thunders were heavy favorites, obviously. However, the Pacers have played fantastically well, and they put it up to the Thunders. And I think this final has been one of the best finals I've watched in a very, very long time, due to the fact that there's a favorite and there's an underdog. However, the underdog are a very well-rounded team. They're a well-put-together team, and they're up 2-1 so far. And I can't wait to watch Game 4 on Friday night. It's going to be amazing to watch. It's in Indiana as well. So I think OKC will go ahead and win that one as well. All my predictions so far have been wrong, but I think OKC will go ahead and win that one. And I think the series is going to be 2-2. Going to split the series again, going back to OKC for a Game 5. Thanks again for watching this video. Like I said, if you enjoy my content, make sure you drop a comment or follow and don't forget to click on the subscribe button as well. Also, I appreciate everyone. Thank you very much. Have a